Hey, Sports Speak, how you doing? Yeah, good job there. Got right on there. Hey, Sandra, how's it going? Hey, Keel. Hey, Star, how are you? Hey, Don, how's it going? Hey, Lane, how you doing? Hey, Sandra, doing pretty well. Hey, Mike, not a bad day today. I think it's about 26 now. It's okay. Been testing, fooling around with my camera. Oh, thanks, James. Appreciate it. So there's a guy that comes on the chat from time to time. Hey, Larry. His name is Andy, and he knows a lot. He's a good guy. He's down around the Michigan Avenue Stroll. I met him for the first time a few weeks ago. Long story short, he helps the girls. He gives them rides, gives them medical care. He's not a wolf in sheep's clothing. I've verified this guy up and down. He works a full-time job. He's got a great job. He's just a good person, and he keeps his eye out for these people. So, what do you people think of me doing a chat where it's just basically questions and answers you can have relating to the women in the area with him? Do you think that'd be something that would interest you? Because you can't help but be biased, and he certainly knows a lot more about the day-to-day activities than I do. And I think he'd be an interesting guy to listen to or ask questions of. Hey, Ruby, how you doing? Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Yeah, he's a good guy. Okay, good. He had emailed me. I responded to him, and I said, "Would you be interested in doing a chat tonight?" And I didn't hear back from him. To be honest with you, I'm not sure when I got I didn't really look at the date when I got the email. Could have been yesterday. It's funny. I had better notifications to email 20 years ago than I do now. And you'd think Gmail would be the best of them all, but God, it's kind of infrequent. And my phone syncs a lot. It's just a pain in the ass. Yeah, okay, yeah, so I do because I would like to, come up with topics that people are interested in. Uh, there are other things as well. I'm going to try and hook up with the Amish guy tomorrow or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. So I don't, want to jump all over him right after I met him. And I'd like to see both places. I don't know that I'll be able to do that at once, the dairy and the lumber mill. Yeah. Yeah, I think you know what it looks like. You can just take a look at a video of any day, anytime, and it always kind of looks the same. Now this bend over, he's been banned a bunch of times. Just some kook that has nothing better to do. So you'll notice if you read the other short, 3-second videos, the reason I do that is because I want to tell you guys some things. And sometimes it always doesn't lend itself to starting a chat. It's during the day, people aren't around, so you can at least read it. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, well, hopefully they'll be better. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Amish interview myself. I'm curious how that's going to all pan out. What I'm going to get to record and whatnot. Hey, Jim, how you doing? And I didn't spell out everything. It'd take forever to write anything, but I got quite a few complaints from people. They don't like the idea of people coming on and promoting their channel and asking them to subscribe. So what I thought I'd do is if people wanted to do that, they can put a link to their channel they're trying to get off the ground. I mean, I sympathize with them. It's difficult to do, but I don't think I want them doing it on the chat anymore. It's just, I get too many emails about it. Yeah, the cops aren't particularly friendly down there. That's been my experience. I mean, they're always, behind on their calls, working their ass off, underpaid. So it isn't like they're in a cheerful mood. And I bet you money that they have commanders that tell them no interviews with anybody unless they're approved. If you notice on newscasts, other than an official source with a teleconference or some kind of news media event, you don't see cops just stepping up to the mic and talking. I think that's why they want to control whatever communications doled out. So I would say that's unlikely, Keo. Hey, Blue Malvo, how you doing? You know, I haven't heard from Becky. The records indicate she was discharged, and nobody's heard from her. So I'm assuming, and that's all it is, so it's an assumption, that she went into some court-ordered rehab where she doesn't have access to a phone or communication. Yeah, I'd get one if I could, Keo. I really would. I just don't know any, to be honest with you. I talked to a cop about a month ago who is still active that works at a different precinct, and he was an interesting guy to talk to. But he couldn't really, he basically gave me advice about when I'm down there and what to do and that kind of thing. Evidently, you know, Detroit, it can be a little different sometimes than, let's say, West Bloomfield or Birmingham, real affluent areas. I mean, I know enough from being around that if I was in downtown Birmingham, no, Amanda, you don't know what you're talking about, Keel. You make another comment like that and you're gone. You have no idea what you're talking about. Hey, Cinderella, how you doing? Oh, you like that 23 and Lake footage? But this guy, what I was going to say, if I was in a real affluent area and the cops pulled me over, I tell them to get lost because I know I'm not doing anything wrong. But down in Detroit, I don't think I'd do that. I mean, it wouldn't be way out to think that a cop that got pissed off would say, hey, I saw this guy pulled over. He approached a known working girl. He initiated a conversation, so I arrested him for soliciting. And all of a sudden, my van gets towed. Daisy gets taken to the dog pound. I've got to find a ride 200 miles back home. And then a year from now, and 10 grand later, my case gets dismissed because they realized all I was doing down there was handing out gifts or interviewing someone. Yeah, I just as soon avoid the whole process, you know? That Amanda stuff has been talked about for the last month. And it's in the videos, it's in the comments. I mean, to come on a chat and just bring that up when this has been discussed repeatedly, you're obviously not taking the time to go through her videos and read what people have said. I'm not going to, interrupt the chat to explain something that we've talked about full time for 3 weeks. Hey, Sexy, how you doing? Yeah, yep, the gal from Ohio. Yeah, I will if I catch another. And I want you guys to please remain diligent. If you find some comments or you want someone's being inappropriate and I'm missing it, please tell me. You know, this bend over, what he'll do is he'll use invisible text. That's why it keeps looking like he's not being banned. He's using invisible text. Yeah, I mean, there have been constant updates for 3 weeks. All you need to do is go on a video of hers and it's talked about all over. What's that, Craig? I didn't catch what you said. So that's the game plan. About the commentary? Are you talking about the commentary that, people that, write nasty posts? I mean, what? Be specific, and I'll give you a specific answer. I just want to make sure that I'm not just blabbing and I answer your question. Yeah, it sure seems like that. I think I'll give her another chance. Yeah, Keo, I think you're going to get, I think, I'm not going to be batting 1,000 on who I block, and there's going to be mistakes, but I would rather err on the caution side. I mean, who that watches the channel or reads the comments doesn't know the status of Amanda? So for someone to come on in the middle of a chat, it's just at a minimum rude, and I'm not going to allow it. See this bend over guy, this is all he's got to do. Must have got out of school early today. Oh, really, Victoria? Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say that was probably not Maddie responding. Yeah, that's super rude. I mean, I'm not defending her, but, I've had similar things happen like that down there myself. I mean, this is, again, it's kind of like who to block and who not to block. There's a fine line sometimes in what you're going to chalk off to addiction and what you're going to credit to bad etiquette and being self-centered and rude. It's a moving target. You really don't know. I know that all bets are off with people that are drug addicted. And all you have to do is, watch some of the videos and see where they're coming from and understand the background. It isn't like I'm trying to figure out how you're doing after a long sickness and I'm getting a normal response. I mean, when you deal with people in this situation, it isn't like the real world. They're sleeping in abandoned, burned out homes with no running water, no toilet, no heat. And all of a sudden, you kind of get a response that you're not expecting. But if you think about it, it kind of goes hand in hand with the behavior. Look, I wish the best for Gerald and Manny. But on the other hand, I don't hold them to a very high standard with regard to etiquette or being courteous or thankful or anything else. I've actually talked to them about that before. Yeah, that's it, Craig. I mean, you just don't. To be honest with you, about maybe a month ago, I was giving her some stuff, and some people had sent her some clothes and stuff like that, and she made a comment to the effect that, skip this bullshit. Where are the cards with the money? And I said something to her about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where that comes from, Judy. I really don't. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Yeah, no, I believe that, Craig. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so I'm sorry that you feel that way, and it really stings. Hey, Erica, when you get that kind of response. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? It's like the old adage that when somebody gets divorced, that means an older person will tell you, you don't know what went on because you never lived with them. Well, you're getting to see a little different side of Gerald and Maddie because they've got their own channel now. So rather than just a young, good-looking couple that's struggling, you're getting to see the real Gerald and Maddie. And some people are going to like it. A lot are not going to like it. So it's be careful what you wish for. Yeah, sports speak. Yeah. And I'm not saying this with regard to Gerald and Maddie, but for all we know, some of the people that I interview were like that before they were ever on drugs, just rude and ingrates, and you can never make them happy. Yeah, sorry about that, Victoria. Yeah, Violet, there's nothing you can do. I mean, they're consenting adults. I mean, there's two ways of looking at this: disappointment, or you're hopeful for them, but it doesn't really come across any longer as just a couple that's had some bad luck. It's coming across as people that you don't think as much of after they got their own channel, which is unfortunate. I mean, I told him that they ought to do two channels, one on the day in the life of Maddie and Gerald, and the other one on Gerald's rap. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, their heyday will come and go if something isn't changed, and people are going to get tired of no rehab videos. And this is my last day living in Southwest Detroit, but it's going to run its natural course. What can I say? Yeah, okay, that's well put, Sports Speak. Yeah. No, yeah, I don't watch him, to tell you the truth, Erica. I don't. You know. Becky supposedly was released from jail, and nobody's heard from her. You know. Oh, no kidding, Jim, huh? You sure seem it's just the time frame, Shogun. You kind of hope to see. I mean, I'm 100% believer in karma. Yeah, Revenge, you can go search around for it because I'm not going to let people post links to other channels anymore. It's been posted on other videos of theirs that I've done interviews. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, disappointing. I mean, and this isn't just limited to Maddie and Gerald. I mean, Ginger's got 5 kids. I think Lacey said she had 4 or 5. Tassie's got a few running around. Rebecca has 2. I mean, it's not just them. Yeah, I got a lot of complaints about it, Shogun. That's why. That's why I'm not doing it anymore. I got 10 emails this morning. They're getting tired of hearing about it, and I'm sorry that I did that, but I'm trying to let people get their channel started. And I know how daunting it is at the beginning with the new rules and the 1,000 subscriber limit, that kind of thing. No, I don't want you. I just got done. If you read a post early, Chrissy, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anything about that. You make another comment like that, and you're gone. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that instead of causing trouble and rumors, you're actually trying to help, which I'm doubtful of. Yeah, it's really not like that. Everybody's got a few bucks on them down there. It's not like you're carrying around, $10,000 in gold coins. Ebony, I don't know. Somebody made a comment the other day that has known Ebony for like 15 years or something like that. She's married now and doing well. That's another thing. Well, that's okay, Chrissy. That's another thing. You don't, you never really get the full story. Yeah, it's all right, Sports Week. I can take it, but it just, you get tired of it after a while. I think it ruins the chat. And one thing I realized, and I'm a slow learner on some things, and it was probably not a good idea for me to just allow chats to run on with me not being around. I looked back at some of the old chats, and it's kind of embarrassing, really. So I can assure you that's not going to happen again. That's okay, Revenge. That's all right. No, Coco's down there. I knew that last time. I tried finding her. I went over to where I thought she lived. I know people that know her, and nothing. She's around though. That's not uncommon. Hey, Kat, it's not uncommon to not run into people for months. It can even turn into years. It's not like they're always out. Oh, thanks, Terry. You'll find yourself. Thanks, Felicia. You'll find yourself getting sick of clicking on videos where you're pissed off, annoyed, dumbfounded, disappointed. It just doesn't work very long. Hey, Joanne, how you doing? See, now this guy right here, he's probably going into around the 8th grade. He thinks that's really funny. This I don't mind really. It's the people under the roof of trying to help me and looking out for my channel that are doing nothing other than trying to perpetuate these nut jobs that only have a channel because they're trying to bash me. No, somebody mentioned that today about this homeless person. Oh, in Brightmoor, I saw that in the news. Yeah, I saw that in the news. Yeah, I did. Yeah, Brightmoor. Yeah. That'll be a big deal over there because despite what Brightmoor looks like, there are a lot of down-to-earth good people there. And that's a small community. I mean, they have community watch and they're all growing vegetables together. It's not like other parts of the city where you don't know the person across the street. So I'm sure that sent shockwaves through the area. Were you typically like, what do you mean, Craig? I mean, it's kind of the Southwest Detroit down around the Campbell Building, Delray, dead. It's over. There's nothing down there anymore. Basically, it's Michigan Avenue, and I'm going to start doing more of Flint. And I'm going to go over to Grand Rapids and check that out. Yeah, Allie, you know, sweet lady trying to beat her addiction. I mean, and you know how Allie is, you know, really down in the depths of despair, and you see how pleasant and appreciative she is. So, you know, Allie isn't chalking anything off to her drug addiction by being rude or ungrateful. Yeah, you're going to have to check that out on your own, Terry. Brightmoor is on the west side of Detroit. If you Google it, it'll show you the parameters. Kind of an old blighted area that's been around forever, old homes, a lot of vacancies, arson. Hey, Carol, how you doing? You know, I've been up around 8 Mile and John R. Actually, that's where I interviewed Little Bit, who I've looked for since 6 Mile and John R. You know, when I'm up around there, I never see people, hardly ever. Hey, Pete, how you doing? Temp here is 27. Yeah, I never have. Grand Rapids has, you know, a working girl problem over there, I understand. Did you see, I put that little blurb up the other day. They were either 35th or 39th in sexual transmitted diseases in the country. They were in the top 50, Grand Rapids of all places, which, you know, kind of bills itself as the Bible Belt of Michigan. I'm not knocking Christianity, but I think there's some irony to it. Yeah, Allie, yeah, felt bad, yeah. Yeah, I love the country too, you know. Yeah, guy, what are you talking about? See, these are the kind of posts that I'm just don't want around. Yeah, Allie, I know who you meant, Violet. Yeah. Working girl, I like them all, to tell you the truth. I mean, they all, it's just like anybody else, you know. I mean, you know, you can't help but feel for the underdog. And as you can tell by the interviews, they all have, you know, personalities that are, they're all very likable. But one, and I'm not going to name her. Are you talking about me, Carol, or are you talking about Gerald? Yeah, I would say I like them all. You know. You know, Ebony's got a personality and a half. I mean, a lot of these people, you know how it is. There's a lot of facets to a personality, and you know, when there's not too many people that can come across as pleasant, happy, and positive as Ebony. It's a real gift. You know. Oh, good for you, Michelle. Jamie, probably the same. Jamie's a sweet girl. She's been out down there working around that area for since she was 16. No, I don't, Craig. I mean, it's hard to do sometimes. Of course, I have my own biases. The human factor is always going to be an element in anything you do. Hire, fire, who you date, if you like your neighbors, it's constantly there. It never goes away. Politics, what you look like, how well spoken you are. These all have tremendous effects when you're in a courtroom and a jury's looking at you. And it's no different when I'm interviewing working girls. They're going to make a snap decision if they want this conversation to go on or not. And it's all by little tiny subtleties that happen in about 3 seconds. Yeah, I hope so, Pete. I mean, that's one thing I think about. There's a guy named Larry Flies. He was a guy that did a video of, he made a hang glider with a jet engine. And he's been dead for, probably 5 or 7 years. And his videos are still being watched. And I think that's kind of cool how a person can be amongst the living and then depart this world. And yet people still can enjoy things that they find interesting. Larry, and I never talked to him. I didn't know him. I did watch his videos. And he got a terminal cancer diagnosis and decided he didn't want to battle chemotherapy and ended his life himself. So that's kind of cool. I'm hopeful that, someday people will look at these videos and this homelessness will be better, that working girls will be non-existent, blight and arson will be a thing of the past. I want people to look at my videos and just be in shock because nothing is like that any longer. That's what I hope. You're probably right about that, Erica. Yeah, I think you're right. It's the name of his channel is Larry Flies. I don't know. Yeah, Larry Flies, and he did a lot of. He made his own helicopter, made a ultralight with a jet engine. Super interesting guy. You'll really enjoy those videos. But he's been dead for a long time now. I just think it's cool how these videos just endure. Yeah, I mean, from the little I read, and I don't know, I don't think Larry had a lot of family for some reason. Seems like I remember reading that, you know. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I don't read as much as I should. My problem is I got too many hobbies. Hey, Jared, how you doing? I got too many interests. I really do. Wish I could narrow it down more. No, I'm glad you said that because I want to call this guy with this indoor beehive tonight. I'm just having a problem believing that a 12 frame hive is sustainable. It just doesn't allow enough space for brood and honey. Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, Snubnose, is there no, I didn't know about this guy. Do you know somebody that's like that? Oh, that's interesting, Violet, huh? Tom, the guy that lived on top of the old railroad storage facility, he was kind of a guy like that, not an enemy in the world. Yeah, sports week, believe me, no one gets more depressed than I do. You're moving to Florida. Oh God, don't do that. Visit there, have a good time, and then make a rational decision. You think you're depressed now? I don't want to say anymore. Like I said, the human element. I like you. You seem like a good person, but I don't want to like rain on your parade, so I'm going to shut up about Florida. Yeah, Craig, there's an entirely different personality that goes into a person that builds planes and a guy that flies them. Rarely do you find a guy that does both. And 95% of home built kits never get finished? Oh, thank you, Eddie. I hope that's true. Oh, Thank you, Teresa. Oh, PC Trash Talk. Oh, wow, that's a hell of an airplane. The Varies is what ended John Denver's life, I think. It could have been a Long Ease. I'm not sure. One of the two. Oh, you kidding me, Brandy? You better believe it. Not kidding, I will. Yeah, you might be right, Debbie. Yeah. Yeah, I've showed it before. Hey, Abdel, how you doing? Algeria, all right. How are you? I don't think I've ever had anybody from Algeria before. What time is it there, by the way? No, honestly, I've got every book I think they ever published on bees. I could talk to you about it till hell freezes over. And I have not in that instance, but the arthritis, the autoimmune diseases, people, my opinion, okay, I think people don't know what they're talking about with regard to royal jelly, the benefits of honey for your allergies. Honestly, I think it's a bunch of BS. Oh, okay, Abdel, thank you. Oh, wow, turn the AC off. Ooh, that's not a problem here. Oh, yeah, John Denver was a good guy. That was so unfortunate that happened. What a way to go. You know how that happened, don't you, Mark? Oh, Larry can fly. Okay, yeah, thank you. Larry can fly. Thank you, Larry. I thought it was Larry flies. Craig, you see that on there? It's Larry can fly. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for finding that. Yeah, bees are really fascinating. It's a great hobby. It really is. Honeybees are not indigenous to the United States, and they sell through the media a bunch of bullshit on pollination and the bees dying. And don't believe all that. The bees are dying, but honestly, they shouldn't have been here to begin with, just like the ringneck pheasant. And the only time it really matters is when you're trying to do commercial pollination. In other words, it's big business that's complaining. There's a million ways things get pollinated, but when you've got 500 acres of watermelon, it's not going to pollinate itself naturally. That's when you start using insects. Beekeepers have done an excellent job as portraying themselves as good stewards of Mother Nature, but nothing could be further from the truth. Half of them don't even know what they're doing. That's it, Pete. Me too. All right, Jim, take care. Yeah, ketamine. Yeah. Pink cocktail. That's what they give a dog before they euthanize it. Yeah, if I never read the studies on ketamine. Denise, I don't know how bad it's bothering you, but there's some pretty good positive results with regard to shock therapy. They still do it. Some pretty good results. I think they're the way to go. I mean, I don't think they're perfect, and I don't think you're going to take one pill and everything's going to be great. I think they take the edge off and it's better than nothing, but you need to implement those with other things, lifestyle changes, bad habits, drinking a shit ton of water so your tongue doesn't stay permanently glued to the roof of your mouth. I take them. I have taken them most of my life. People ask me about them. I recommend they take them. Again, it's not 100%, but I think you're better off taking them than not. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that's what I think. 12 frame height. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm going to pin the guy down on it. Yeah, but the fuel valve problem was because it was half-assed. The guy had a pair of channel grips on there, and he reached back there to switch it rather than it being under the seat where it should have been. When you do a home-built plane, that's the problem. You never really know what you're getting. And he kicked that rudder, and it rolled upside down. And bang on. He was in the process of switching tanks. Now, chemo's bad, but it saves more people than it kills. Yeah, depression sucks, man. I'm an expert at it. Yeah, it depends. You know, if it gets to the point, I mean, I would have done it. I was about ready to try it. Instead, I went nuts. I wish I would have tried it sooner. You know, people tend to think it's like something that's going to be where, you know, it's a Frankenstein movie and they put two bolts in the side of your head and see how much juice you can take. It's not like that at all. Oh, Carol, wow, sorry about that. How are you doing, by the way? Yeah, keep trying, Sports Speak. Keep trying. Stick with it. Sports Speak, have you had the genetic testing? Have you tried that at all? If you haven't, I think that could be your ticket. All right, Craig, take care. Check those videos out. Larry Can Fly. You love it. And I apologize, but I'm going to block these foreign people because I don't know what they're saying, and I can't take the chance of them just being some kook. So I'm sorry if you said something nice. And if you didn't, well, you got what you deserved. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, you guys. I'm going to be on later tonight. I'm going to try and get a hold of Andy, and hopefully he's willing to do a question answer about what he knows with regard to the working women in Southwest Detroit. Yeah, you mean that wormer? You're talking about that dog wormer? Yeah, I haven't really read anything about that. Oh, Sports Speak. Oh, sorry about that. Huh. Are you serious about moving to Florida? Hey, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, I'll be back on later, Mark. Yeah, it's very tempting to give up. You know, when you're depressed, you don't feel like doing anything. I mean, doing a load of laundry is monumental. Putting a stamp on an envelope seems impossible. Yeah, okay, Linda. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Clint. So I'll see you guys, let's say like 9 o'clock tonight. Does that sound good? And hopefully Andy will respond and he can do that. Sports Speak, you're welcome to give me a call if you ever want to. My email is Tom Reed, TOMREED, 1956 at gmail.com. I've been down that road, man. I know it sucks. Oh, Carol, I don't know how, but thank you. Yeah, I think Rebecca was in jail. Records indicate she was discharged, and that's the end of it. Nobody's heard from her. I really don't know what the deal is, Rebecca. I'm going to call her old landlord tonight. Oh, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, really? And that's been a 2-year chemo program. Interesting, huh? So what's your prognosis? I mean, where are you at right now? Yeah, you know, Denise, that never worked for me. I mean, I have a dog. I love my dog, but I never thought that I never would say a dog could save me from offing myself. Okay, Lana. Yep. Thanks. Okay, Denise. Yep. Yeah, all right, Nicole. Yeah. Hey, no problem, man. Please, no, give me a call anytime. Email me, and I'll email you back my phone number. You can call me at any time, any night. Believe me, not a problem. I understand it 100%. I do. I've been there. I was in 2 psychiatric hospitals within a month period, and I didn't want to go to either one of them, so it wasn't my choice. So I've been there, man. I know what it's like, and I know it's like being in a locked ambulance for 160 miles. So hang in there, man. I've been there. I get it. It sucks. See you, Elaine. Okay, now, so were you eventually cleared of 4th-stage lung cancer, Carol? Did that happen to you? Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Blue Mountain. Yeah, Daisy's a good dog. She really is. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Mine didn't. One did me some good. The other one didn't. My biggest issue was sleep deprivation. Yeah, I bet I didn't sleep for 10 years. I think that's what ended up driving me nuts. I didn't try that Virginia Wolf, huh? Virginia Wolf, that guy is down in Mount Vernon, Ohio. If you Google beehives, Mount Vernon, Ohio, he's got a lot of nice stuff. Look at his stuff. It's cheap too. All right, Carol's here. Yeah, take care. Now they can email me. You can do that. What you can do, Denise, you can put it up and then I'll hide it. Go ahead and put it up there for him and I'll hide it right after it's there for a couple seconds. I mean, you could always block people from your email, you know. On the other hand, you could email it to me and I'll email it to them. So you don't need to worry. No, I don't watch him, Brandon. No, I don't watch those videos. Oh, sleep is what got me. Yeah, and that's true, SportsSpeak. SportsSpeak, have you tried Remeron, mirtazapine? Have you tried that? It's a very cheap drug. You can get a bucket full for $20 at Walmart. You might want to try that. I don't know if you have a family practitioner. It is an antidepressant, but they use it off-label for a lot of things. Sleep's one of them. But I get the smallest pill they have and I break it in half and I sleep like a damn baby. And you tend to feel better when you get a good night's sleep. So consider that. Mirtazapine and Remeron, look it up. It's worked wonders for me. Oh God, Brandon. Oh, interesting, Carol. So, Carol, what's your status right now? I mean, how you feeling? Leslie, you can go look on Gerald and Maddie's videos. People post it all over there. I'm getting too many complaints from viewers about people constantly posting links to Marilyn, to Maddie and Gerald's things. They say it's distracting and aggravating. SportsSpeak, did you get that? Did you find that there? You see that? Hey, SportsSpeak, you see that email there? You got it? I'm going to delete it in a second. That's what I thought, Virginia. That's what I thought about two of them. And I was going to ask him about that. It does make you eat more, but as long as you're aware of it, you know what I mean? No, Ambien. I tried Ambien before I ever found that Remeron. I got up in the middle of the night and urinated all over a laptop. And if I hadn't had pillows in front of my hotel door because people across the hall were making noise, I would have bet money that somebody broke in while I was sleeping. Didn't even realize I did it. That was the end of Ambien for me. I mean, people have got acquitted for murder from being on Ambien. Okay, I'll do that, Denise. Yeah, I'm sure will. I'll do that. So I'm going to put you in a timeout. I think it's 300 seconds, but I'm going to log off anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, that Ambien did not work for me either. Sure didn't. Yeah, it'll make you eat more. It sure will. But you know, when you're going batshit crazy, I mean, who cares if you gain some weight? I mean, that's the least of your problems. I mean, you worry about losing weight before you shelve the idea off on yourself. You know, I did that before. I remember I got up before and cooked a spaghetti dinner before 2 a.m. Nuts. But you know, if you're aware of it, your brain will tell you, you know, do not be cooking yourself a 4-course meal at 2 a.m. You're going to get fat. And if you can just, you know, eat a couple blueberries or a sugar-free candy or something, it'll take away that wanting to eat the refrigerator whole. Yeah, good luck, SportsSpeak, really. I know the feeling. Yeah, no, that's right, Sports Speak. That's it. Any addiction place will tell you first things first. They recommend you quit one thing at a time. Alcohol, then cigarettes, then sex addiction, and compulsive shopping, and drugs, and then one at a time. Yeah, you too, Dad girl. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a Walmart medication. Yeah, Remeron. Yeah, super cheap. I'm a little bit groggy on it sometimes, but not bad. I mean, at least I was able to sleep. Klonopin, yeah, it is that, but there's a lot of criticism on Klonopin as being addicting. It's, a benzodiazepine. I felt that the problem with Klonopin is the half-life is so long. I was always groggy on Klonopin. And they'll give you a operating while impaired ticket and a heartbeat for being on Klonopin. It does dull your reaction time. It does. All right, you guys. Well, I'll be on 9 o'clock tonight, so I'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. To test out this chat. Yeah, try it. It's cheap. There's really no downside to it. You may even want to get an order of trazodone. Make you sleep good too. Yeah, well, they're two different things, falling asleep and staying asleep. And that's not to say that yours is automatically depression. There's a lot of reasons to have crappy sleep. Although traditionally, sleep gets worse for almost everybody as they age. Okay, Sports Stick, sounds good. Yeah. No, Tylenol, I wouldn't take that at all. No, Carol, get some Remeron. Get a doctor to write you a week supply. It'll cost you $2 at Walmart. Just take a half pill. You'll sleep like a damn baby. I guarantee it. Okay, Shogun. Yep. See you there. Really do that, man. It will work wonders for you. Not addicting or anything like that. It's not like Klonopin or clorazepam or any of those things. You feel like $1 million. Do it, Carol. Just tell them you talk to some friend. Yeah, Tylenol PM. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Yeah, no, and actually the PM has Benadryl in it, and there's some pretty good studies with Alzheimer's and dementia related to long-term use of Benadryl for sleep. I've read these studies, Nicole. I mean, that may work, but there are better things out there. Oh, thank you, Shogun. You got to be rock bottom before you listen to any advice from me. Believe me. No, you'll sleep. You get some too, Leslie. Shit, I had to be a spokesperson for this drug. Luckily, it's an old drug that's been around forever. Believe me, man, I've suffered that way. I know. Yeah, you'll feel a lot better. You just try a week or so. It's not something you got to be on forever to do to see if it's working. That's one thing that I'll credit being in a psychiatric hospital did for me. You know how it is. You get on a medication, come back in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. A year later, it doesn't work, and they want to start another one all over for another year. Well, when you're in a psychiatric hospital, you're constantly experimenting, titrating. So it was worth every damn time. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to get out of there in a week, and I asked for another week because I wanted to be absolutely sure I had this medication thing down before I went out into the real world again. Yeah, Remeron, Remeron. Yep. We'll have a big Remeron party this summer. Everybody be sleeping. All right, you guys, I'll see you at 9. See you, Angela.